Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well, and in today's video we are looking at another crimper set from Preciva. Preciva are a brand for a Chinese tool company based out of Shanghai, and they distribute the tools within Europe and I believe America as well under this Preciva brand. This set here are their Dupont and JXT Connector crimp sets. They are also compatible with Molex as well, although you don't get any of the crimps with that. The set itself comes in this cardboard box here, and I keep it in this cardboard box. There's no other packaging for the crimper itself. Somewhere on here it actually says, I'm not sure how well it'll pick it up, but on the label there it says it is made in China. In the set itself, you've obviously got the crimpers, which we'll come to. You do get their little community card that doesn't really seem to be active on Facebook, but it is there. You've got an email address there as well should you have issues. You do get a little instruction manual, both in English and German. Quite a nice instruction manual, if I do say so. You've got, beg your pardon, you do get in English, German, French, Italian and Spanish as well. You get the jaw specifications, you get the kit contents, and then you get a little guide on how to use the crimper itself and what constitutes a good crimp and a bad crimp. So quite helpful really. And then in these two cases here you get the connectors themselves. These is the set for the JXT connector kit, and you get male and female. The actual crimps here are all females that go into the female housings, and then the male housings are header pins for soldering onto a PCB or Veriboard. They are all 2.54mm pitch, so standard Veriboard pitch. That all comes in this one case, and you get on there 2 pin, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's your lot in male and female. 460 pieces overall, it says. And then in the other kit box you get the Dupont connector kits, and you get in here single pole, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, an 8 and a 10. And then in this one you get both female and the male connector crimps, and then you get some of the header pins that are in here. Small little section of ribbon cable as well. You also get the header pins. You get them in this straight variety here. There's also one, yeah, there's some right angled ones as well, and you just cut them off to length and you can solder them in for use with the connectors. As I said, that's the kit that you see there. And on this one, 1,550 pieces on this particular set. So that's both of those. They do keep them fairly well. You do find some of the connectors, more so on this kit than the other one, they do jump around and end up, yeah, so I've got a 4-way one in there, and you end up getting mixed up. So, oops, if you get shook around a little bit, but they're pretty good. So if you're not familiar with these JXT and these Dupont connectors, you find them on electronics. So this robot here that you see as a type of JXT connector on there. Now you can see the Dupont connectors in there, although these ones have got jumpers on them. And also, if you have these prototyping or breadboards, sometimes people call them, you can make yourself little jump leads up that go into these using the male Dupont pins. They fit quite nicely in there. They're a better option than a soldered piece of stranded wire or the solid core wire that usually breaks after you've used it for a little while. So I do use them for this as well, and you either put a bit of heat shrink over the end or cut down the actual single pole cap. So they're used for that as well, and you end up making whatever wires you like, different size lengths, or banana jack on there, and I should say banana plug on there, and a Dupont at the other end for putting into a power supply or something like that. So they are quite useful for that aspect. And then we get onto the actual set of crimpers themselves. Obviously this is Preciva. You get this whole set. Recommended retail price is £36.99. The main outlets for these are Amazon and eBay. I don't find Preciva at any of the regular tool shops that I deal with within the UK. On Amazon and eBay, it ranges between £30 to £40, depending on where you buy it from and the time. So it is worth shopping around a little bit to get the set. So you're looking at the value option end of the market rather than the quality end of the market, really. The crimpers themselves, they will handle from 0.1mm up to 1mm squared, which is 26 to 18 gauge across the 3 set of crimp heads in the die there. These are such a small crimp, these are very easy to close up. There's no real pressure there required for these kind of crimps. And the set themselves, I know some of the other Preciva kits, people that have watched that video have kind of said that they're poor quality and there's a lot of movement in the pivot pins. I've not found it with this set or any of the Preciva pliers that I utilise, really. So the jaws are all in there, all tight, no problems. There's a little bit of wiggle on the joint there, but it's nothing to be overly concerned with. You don't have any cover over the top of the mechanism, so you can get dirt or more access to dirt inside the spring and the pivots there, I guess, so it might wear a bit quicker than some of your more higher quality brands. But of course you're looking at probably a third of the price in comparison to something like your Connectors or your Weidemuller or something like that. So I find these quite adequate. Handles here are all hardened plastic. This red one is shiny smooth plastic. There's a kind of bit of a texturized feel to the blue one, but it's not very soft or anything. It's not like a comfort grip. And you can see the mould line down there, and you can feel it in certain places, a bit worse on the bottom than it is on the top there. And the general finish around the handles, there's lots of fashion on the plastic and the like. So yeah, it's just not of that kind of quality, and it's not aimed at that. You do get the tensioning setting in there, so you can adjust that should you want to, and you have in here as well the little see, it does do this occasionally. If you release the handle slowly, it doesn't seem to open fully and stays locked, so you're going to have to flip it back a bit and then you can close it back up again. But yeah, I do have the little release catch in here so that you can stop the crimp should you want to and open the jaws back up. And that's it. As I said, it's just a set of crimpers really, so nothing spectacular about it. We will try and carry out a crimp. These are mighty fiddly though, unfortunately. So the crimps will come on these little. That's what I was used to using for a machine, in actual fact. So you'd belt feed them into the machine effectively and crimp them that way. So to use them with this, you have to snip them off as little individuals. Should need to go that way. And then you've taken it off there. And these are very messy to deal with. Hopefully they will go back in. And then there's a wire here, we'll strip off a little bit. And we'll see how well we can crimp up. When I do this, so you've got the pictures in there of how to do a good crimp. But what I tend to do is feed them into the crimp first and then close up. Try and get it all set up in there. And then I'll feed the wire in. And that's the crimp that you've got there. all on, all nice and tight, no problems. You're not going to be able to see any of that at all, so what I'll do is I'll take some close-ups on camera and you can have a look at the crimp there. There's one I crimped earlier from the JST. So they work fine. Totally accept that they are at the poor man's end of the market, but I don't use these kind of crimps too often. I just needed them at the time, and this was next day delivery from Amazon, so it got me out of the hole that I was in rather than trying to get hold of something else. As I say, I'm not using it that often, so these do me fine. I'm perfectly happy with them for hobbyist use and professional use on and off. I don't have a problem with them. I won't want to expend something that you get from Connectors or Vitamuller just for the occasional use, really. Can save the money up and use that on other tools that I use more often. So that's the kit there. That'll be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you found it useful, and I will see you again in the next one.